So Wall Street just got another little boost on Wednesday, and AI was right at the center of it. Hey everyone, it's Thursday morning, September 11th, and welcome back to Capital Markets Quickie. I'm your host, Endrit Sella, here to break down yesterday's market action in just 2 minutes. Quick note before we dive in. Today's episode is brought to you by AMF Capital Asset Management Frankfurt. Learn more about our funds and strategies at amf-capital.de. All right, let's get started. The Standard & Poor's 500 inched up about 0.3% to a fresh record close. The Nasdaq also managed to finish in the green and set another record of its own. The Dow, which has less exposure to tech, slipped about 0.5% after hitting its own record earlier this week. Now, the big spark came from Oracle. The company dropped a forecast that cloud revenue is set to skyrocket thanks to a flood of AI-related bookings. Experts said it was basically the who's who of artificial intelligence lining up, and the stock exploded over 40% in a single day, even though earnings technically missed expectations. That surge just reinforced the idea that the AI infrastructure build-out is driving a lot of this market momentum. On the macro side, wholesale inflation came in way cooler than expected. Producer prices actually declined last month compared to forecasts for a solid increase. On a year-over-year basis, prices were up 2.6%, which was also softer than the 3.3% economists were expecting. That set the stage for Thursday's consumer inflation report, the last big read before the Fed's meeting next week. Investors are already convinced the Fed will cut rates in September, especially after a jobs revision earlier this week showed more weakness in the labor market. That news really cemented the idea of a cut and gave stocks more fuel. There's also political drama swirling around the Fed itself. A judge blocked Trump from removing one of the governors after allegations of mortgage fraud, which means she'll still be part of that decision next week. And finally, on the trade front, Trump is pushing Europe to join the US in hitting India and China with 100% tariffs. Reports suggest the move is meant to put more pressure on Russia and Putin to engage in talks on Ukraine. Tensions ticked higher after NATO member Poland said it shot down Russian drones that crossed into its airspace. So Wall Street got its lift from AI, inflation cooled more than expected, and geopolitics remain a wild card. That's your market wrap. We'll see what today's inflation report brings. Alright, that wraps up today's Capital Markets Quickie. Join me again tomorrow morning for more market updates. See you then.